Hey there, it's Eric from Xclaim. We're going to do a quick walkthrough of the new features for 1.1 of Harmony. So you'll see now in the wizard, when you get to the password option, the request has been if there was a way to avoid typing in your password twice. Well, we've done that now with the show password option. So as you enter your password, you can simply click on the show password option, which will allow you to visually make sure your password is what you expected it to be and move on to the next field. Also, another request was to skip the initial SSID setup in the wizard. Since you have the option to do this from a web UI now, there's no real requirement that it has to be done from the app, so we've added a skip option here. If you do that, it takes you to the congratulations screen, and you'll see now once we click finished, the discovery process is automatic and very, very fast. So it's discovered in XI1, XI2, and XI3 very quickly. No need to even click on the search for access points button. The process for configuring access point has just now been enhanced and improved to be much more reliable. So now when clicking on an access point, it takes you directly into the configure screen. I'm going to go ahead and name this one X2. These are again all optional fields, location. I'm going to name this one office, but it's not required. You'll see that we have an option now to set the channel width per radio. So this is an XI2 with 40 megahertz being the maximum you can set on either of 2.4 or 5 gig, and you have the option now to set a manual IP address, which was not available in 1.0. WLAN configurations have received an extensive makeover, just from lots of configuration options and reliability. But let's just go through some of the basic features that have been added. You have the option now to hide the SSID. That's right, called broadcast SSID at the very top. You can set that to no if you want to remove the SSID name from the beacon. VLANs and encryption have not changed at all. You can still set them just as you could before. Client isolation is still there. Client isolation is going to prevent wireless clients on the same AP from communicating. It's set to on, or if you want to allow those clients to communicate, if this is a commercial application, something for your office, you want to set that to off to allow clients to communicate. And we've added a bandwidth control setting for per client rate control for uplink and downlink. And you'll see it's a slider. So if I want to set it to 1 megabit per second per client up, and I want to say 10 megabits per second down, it's simply just dragging the sliders and saving. WLAN details have been extended to show you all of your configuration options at a glance from one screen. So you can see all the settings we made that were particular to this WLAN. You can delete, or you can simply edit to get directly in as well to make any changes. Most requested features was the ability to separate SSIDs onto different radios, 2.4 or 5 gig. You've got the ability now in two different places to do that, either from the access point itself or within the WLAN configuration. So let's go into the WLAN configuration. You'll see I've got the generic details that are set up. This has not been deployed on an access point yet, so we're going to go ahead and do that by clicking on the edit. Scrolling down to the bottom, and you'll see our only configured AP is our XI2, or one I've named X2. So if I were to click on this X2 at the bottom now, and it's kind of a light blue, which means it's not deployed yet, the first thing it's going to do is warn me that this will be the first WLAN deployed. So it's going to remind me that it's going to take down the setup SSID. Now you'll also see it's changed the label to both radios, which means it will be deployed on 2.4 and 5 gig. If I tap on it again, it's going to change to 2.4 and finally 5 gig only. So if I want to deploy this SSID called Eric only on this particular AP, on this particular radio, that's how you do it. Now let's show you that same option directly from the access point. So you'll see this X2 here that we've got configured. If I click on it now, you'll see as I scroll down and look at the statistics, 5 gigahertz channel is on, 40 megahertz channel 52, 2.4 is off because it has taken down the Xclaim setup SSID, and I chose to deploy the Eric WLAN only on the 5 gigahertz band. So if I click Actions up at the top, Edit Settings, and I scroll down, you should see that it's set to 5 gigahertz only. If I want to change it from here, it would change it directly, same options. Click on them to turn it off, click on it once to put it on both radios, another time 2.4, or finally 5 gigahertz only. Just like before, the stat screen will update automatically itself. It will refresh every 30 seconds and pull in some active information. So you can see now I've got a client connected to my X2. It's, of course, pulled out the host name, which is Eric's iPad. I could click on that if I want to go in and get some more details. Simply by tapping on the name, you can see it's recognized as an iOS device, and it's got all the same information as before. We've consolidated the graphs to make them more important just by showing you the uplink, downlink, RSSI, and then the packets transferred. And again, same thing on the stat screen. The total usage is a combination of all the statistical information across all of the APs. I've just got the one, and the same thing for total packets. Up at the top right, the gear icon, you can click on that to change some app level settings. So if you want to change the country code, if you want to update your password, and this is a good point to make here, I suggest you do it from the app because it will push it out real time to all of the access points so you don't have to go in and manage them directly. And finally, the About version. This is the release version that will be coming out hopefully in the next little bit. And this gives you an option to collect some information and share that on the forum if you're looking for any assistance with using the app. We hope you enjoy the updates, and feel free to give us comments and feedback on the forum.